3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, Mystery Reading number 1098. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below. My current goal is 300 subscribers at this time, so if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, and maybe even ring that notification bell if you're feeling it. Thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So before getting into interpreting the number 1098, somebody here is wanting you to know that they are very grateful that they met you, and that they're not even the same person. And they also want you to know that no matter how things end, they'll never regret crossing paths with you. This person also might be curious if you would like to talk. Do you want to talk? Do with that what you will, and only take these messages if they truly do resonate, if they make you feel confident, or if they make you feel safe. I feel if they make you feel more confident rather than safe, that's probably your intuition. And it's not that feeling safe is a bad thing, it's just that it isn't your intuition, your knowing, your awareness that is responding to the message. It's your fear. And it comes from a place of confusion. You know, maybe even if it doesn't resonate with your intuition, maybe that could even be helpful for you if if it feels like these messages about somebody is making you feel safe rather than confident. It could be telling you that maybe you're not seeing the situation clearly in some way. And I really encourage you to reflect on your feelings, your fears, really why you feel drawn to or connected to those types of messages. I personally don't like to focus on relationship type readings for a reason. Now, for spiritual advising, if somebody wants a reading like that, I'll do it. But on my channel, I just like to keep it open, because I feel that if the relationship type readings aren't used properly, or they're overused, or there's too much dependence on them, it can do more harm than good. Maybe you could resonate with that too if you're really looking for answers. But at the same time, even if the readings aren't resonating correctly, you're taking readings that are meant for somebody else, claiming messages that are meant for somebody else. I think that ultimately, as long as you're healing and learning and growing along the way, you'll still be directed towards the truth. So from all of those messages, just take whatever resonates and please leave what doesn't. Another thing I want to talk about is number 122. I saw it before I started recording this video here, and that number is a reminder that change starts with you. It's a call for you to be the change that you wish to see, or to keep, doing that if you already are. Moving into 1098 now. Maybe 1096 is a significant reading for you. But the number 1 in 1098 is about trusting and believing in yourself. And I usually say trust your intuition, at least these days. Trust your intuition and believe in your strength. And I find that trust your intuition message interesting, given what we talked about in the beginning, being able to discern between your intuition and your fear. What thoughts, feelings, beliefs make you feel confident? And what thoughts, feelings, and beliefs make you feel safe? Or on the flip side, what kind of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs make you doubt yourself? Or, whether it's in what you know or what you can do, what you're capable of. You could really have, I almost want to say that if you have a strong negative inner dialogue, I think it's very likely that if you resonated with those messages from that person in the beginning, it may be some form of projection of something. Maybe like a need of yours not being met, especially like psychologically or spiritually. No matter how this reading resonates for you, I really, really encourage you to keep looking for answers and don't be afraid to stumble along the way. Healing, growing spiritually, is a journey, not a destination. I know on my own healing journey, when I was watching a lot of the readings on the internet, that message came through, at least quite a bit. Maybe there is a point in your healing journey, though, that you would like to get to. And I just encourage you, as the number 1 brings, to trust and believe in yourself, your intuition, your strength, your ability to do whatever you want, no matter how much courage it takes. Someone here may be important for you to focus on not allowing your fears to control, I was going to say like your reality, but also the narrative, your internal narrative, the stories that you tell yourself about yourself, other people, the world, just the way life is. I just get this strong feeling here that there is someone here that does need to be more focused on healing and learning to love themselves before, trying to heal or fix or, love someone else. Whatever is meant for you will find you. You don't have to worry about losing someone or something, and if you're missing out. You can't miss out on what is not meant for you. I mean, I guess you can, technically, but I don't think you're missing much. That's what I think anyway. It really just depends on where you're at, what trajectory you're on. But moving on to the number 0, this number can be about spiritual communication in the form of repeating patterns or themes that keep repeating themselves. These patterns and these themes could also show up in the form of your own experiences and how things align. So however things are aligning, whatever messages, spiritual communication you're seeing, pay attention. And I want to say, because it's all happening for a reason, the universe, your spirit guides are trying to connect with you for a reason, and your experiences, this life is trying to show you something for a reason. Another way that the number 0 can be interpreted is a reminder or confirmation to know when to put yourself first. And this interpretation can be particularly important or significant for somebody who does resonate with projecting something onto a situation, like a fear or just something, some need that's not being met. It's okay to put yourself first. And it may not even be about getting, permission from others, but more about getting permission from yourself to let go of whatever you need to let go to free yourself from a person, a situation, your own mind, really. The number 2 could also be a significant number. I felt that number come through as soon as I started talking about the separate interpretation of the number 0, about putting yourself first. If you don't already know, the number 2 can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind. If you're seeing the number 222, pay attention to what that message is trying to communicate to you. As I was saying, it can be about a connection or a situation that you are connected to or involved in, but it can also be about creating more peace and balance within yourself and being very mindful of your choices and really prioritizing what means the most to you. Not just physically in your relationships, your jobs, whatever you consume, but also internally. What you choose to believe, feel, think about yourself, life, these existential things. I think it's very clear here that somebody needs to work on their inner dialogue to empower themselves, to heal and grow, and to really be more spiritually connected and aligned with creating more light in this world. I wanted to say in this life. Maybe it's been different for you in past lives, but focusing more on creating more light in this world by embracing it within yourself rather than more darkness as a result of embracing that darkness within yourself in a way where it's about getting comfortable rather than accepting it for what it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, those are my interpretations of the number 2. But I do encourage you to form your own interpretations if that is what you feel called to do. Explore what these things mean, the numbers, the signs, yourself. This is an opportunity to connect more with your intuition, to trust yourself more, to be more spiritually connected. Moving on to the number 9, this number is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. I'm seeing a bird outside because I have my window open. If you can't tell by the lighting, it's a little bit different than normal. But for me, birds represent freedom. There is so much purpose in freeing yourself from what no longer works for you personally. And when you let go of what no longer works for you personally, you're helping the collective, humanity as a whole, create shifts, tides, oceans, to create change. Positive change. Positive change in this world starts with positive change within yourself and your own immediate personal reality. I do believe that the least that the universe asked us to do is to hold ourselves accountable for playing our part, as far as just taking care of ourselves in the way that we deserve to be taken care of, especially in ways that we know we deserve to be taken care of. I just saw the number 345 on the timer. That's a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. The universe asks us of this, asks this of us at minimum for a reason, because it's enough. It's enough. Because things ripple, and you always have an impact, a voice, even if sometimes it feels like you don't. Each and every one of us is a force, a source of energy in this world. And we have to be so mindful, so careful with what kind of force we want to be, what kind of energy we want to create. Because ultimately, individually, whatever we create, however we move, we are moving and creating in the same way as a larger group of people. So what group, what movement, what field do you want to be a part of? Saw the number 444 on the timer, and that is connected to stability and your ancestors. Your ancestors are coming through to encourage you to choose stability on every level. to just take care of yourself in the way that you deserve. And it's not just your ancestors that want this for you, it's everybody's ancestors. That's what I believe, anyway. This feeling of purpose with the number 9, you gotta trust and believe that whatever you do or don't do is so much bigger than you, because you are more than just your physical form. You are energy. You are a frequency. So you deserve to be taken care of too. You know, and I just saw the number 543. I almost wanted to say 453. Maybe that's a significant number for somebody. But 543 is just another sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, that you are more than just your body, for a reason that you are receiving these messages, this video, for a reason, at the time that you did, for a reason. So this 9 really feels like it's really, really encouraging you and urging you to release, let go of what no longer serves you, the way that you speak to yourself, the way you think, feel, and believe in ways that are disempowering, suffocating, limiting, and the people and places and things that only reinforce the negative self-talk, the psychology, the spirituality that works against you rather than for you. The last number, the number 8, is literally about loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. And I think this is a really beautiful message for you, for whoever is really afraid of loss and letting go of these things, you know, just ultimately afraid of change. You know, spooky, scary things can come out of the unknown, but so do surprises and miracles too. There's really something here about perspective. What are you going to choose to focus on? Optimism or pessimism? Are you going to allow yourself to be okay with being disappointed so you can be optimistic and not being your own worst enemy when being disappointed? Or are you going to, be pessimistic and live in fear? No faith at all for anything or anyone or even yourself. I did see the number 122 on the timer, which, as we established way earlier in the video, the number is about, it is about how change starts with you. And it's so interesting how I just talked about how you might be afraid of change. Change can be scary, but it can also be powerful in a good way. And you could create powerful change in a good way outside of yourself by first starting with positive, powerful changes within yourself first. Trust that whatever is lost will be replaced. The universe will not leave you behind, as long as you don't leave yourself behind. The universe can only do so much if you're not meeting to will it halfway. You have to recognize your power here, the part that you play, because the universe is already playing its own part. It knows its power. But do you? You know the power of the universe, the part that it plays. Do you blame the universe for things that humans do, for human free will? How clearly are you seeing things? I saw the number 222 on the timer, and we already talked about the number 2. Confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind, creating more peace and balance within yourself, and prioritizing what means the most to you through being very mindful about the choices that you make externally and internally, and I want to say existentially too. I know it can feel so easy, or it can be so easy to feel alone. But like I said, you're contributing to a whole group of people, millions of others, who are fighting the same fight as you, no matter what that fight looks like, good or bad. Choose your battles, especially if you want to win the war. adding up these numbers. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 9 is 19. No, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 9 is 10, and then 10 plus 8 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. I'm feeling a little bit distracted because there's music going on in the background, and I'm just like, oh, can't have copyrighted music in a YouTube video. I don't think it's too loud, but maybe there's some music here for you, distracting you, even if it's just in a figurative sense. Not like literal music, but music to my ears, or however it may resonate for you. But as I was saying, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 9 is 10, plus 8 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. And the number 9, as we already said, is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So I feel that your spirit guides, the universe, and especially your ancestors, are reinforcing the idea of how much purpose there is in freeing yourself from what no longer works for you personally. All you have to do is play your part in taking care of yourself. And, being mindful of the decisions that you make. That's all you have to worry about. And let the universe, let other human beings with their own free will do the rest. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulder. It's okay to be upset about things happening in the world, but don't punish yourself for things that you don't have direct control or power over. You should celebrate yourself for what you do have power over, what control you do have, and that is playing your part. That is what you do have control over, and that is what you can do through healing, finding the answers that you need, and having a real spiritual connection with whatever higher power, spirit guides, spiritual beings that you believe in. Have trust and faith in yourself so you can have more trust and faith in the universe. As you can see, there are many cards on the table right now. This portion of the reading I'm going to have to go through faster than I did with all of those numbers. But this here is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot Major Arcana cards. These cards are more about major themes, big ideas, more long-term ideas. And these are the Minor Arcana Tarot cards, which are more about the details, more short-term relationships or situations or things. And then up here at the top, those are index cards that I made myself. I wrote things on them myself. And I'm going to use these major arcanas to get a big idea, what is the big idea, what's the main message here. And I'm going to get more detail into whatever this main message is, and then just pull one of these index cards up here to see what else wants to come through. And I have no idea what's going to come out with those index cards, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and get one of these major arcanas. I'm seeing the Sun card from this deck, which is really about illumination, light, being more optimistic, more honest. I have the Magician in reverse, and I have not seen this card in a while. Regardless of the deck, I just have not seen the Magician card in a while. Except for that one time in the somewhat recent past where I said that and then I saw it. But it says self-doubt, I can't, in quotes, fear. Up right, it says plan, creativity, inspiration, vision, action, and then in quotes, I can, I will. This is in reverse. So this tells me the idea of self-doubt is standing out here. So it's very possible that those messages in the beginning about that person is projection. But for someone out there, that really does resonate for somebody. So as a lot of this reading seems to have been about, trust yourself. Really connect with your intuition, with what makes you feel confident rather than safe when it comes to what you know and what you're feeling spiritually. The Magician card actually does have the number 1 on it. And as we said in the beginning, that number is about trusting and believing in yourself. The Magician card in general, it does seem like that kind of card where it's largely about having trust and faith in yourself so you can really embrace your power, your magic, your true potential. I really, really encourage you to reflect on, analyze this self-doubt, the negative self-talk, the negative self-image, the negative feelings that you have about yourself, and find closure with them. Because you deserve better, and you can have a better relationship with yourself, a better job, better relationships with other people, a better living situation, a better lifestyle. Positive change really starts with you. So don't be your own worst enemy. Don't draw these imaginary lines for yourself. You determine your future. And it's determined by what you choose to do right now in this moment, in the present. A big thing that I'm noticing with this Magician card is I can't, and then I can, I will, when it's upright. And we talked a lot about negative self-talk. So if you're telling yourself, I can't be this, I can't do that, start telling yourself, oh yeah, I can be this kind of person, and I can do whatever I want. The difference between I can and I can't is power. I just got distracted by another bird outside this window. Another sign about freedom. Free yourself by telling yourself, I can and I will. I also feel something here about allowing yourself to move forward with confidence. You know, moving forward as if you already have done whatever you wanted to do. You're already that person. You know? Just so 111 on the timer. Trust yourself and believe in yourself. Let's go ahead and see what this minor arcana card is going to be. What details could we use for the Magician here? Thinking about how I felt connected to the Sun card before. It feels like what you need to wake up to, what needs to be illuminated to, what needs illumination is how much power negative self-talk actually has. Wow. I have the 8 of Cups, and it's reminding me of when we talked about the number 8 with loss and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. This card, it says disappointment, letting go, sadness, loss, action, change. What's that word? Regenerate, I think it says. And I wrote the zodiac signs of Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, and then there is the element of water. The artist of this card wrote money problems, turning your back and walking away, knowing nothing more can be done. Just not noticing that this is a little bit off center. I had to... No, it's not. Why is this... I think I accidentally left this card on the table. I kind of feel like... I'm curious what this is, actually. It's the 6 of Wands, which says success, rewards, aftermath, payoff, harmony, cooperative, compassion, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and fire. The zodiac sign on this card standing out the most to me is Pisces. For some reason. I'm also feeling really connected to the moon. So maybe you want to do some research on what that spiritually means, but it's very clear here that you are being called to walk away from something or someone emotionally, to really detach and come out victorious with the 6 of Wands. Well, the artist also wrote letter or news coming, victory news. So let's get one of these index cards now to wrap up this reading for you. We'll get one from right here. This one. Interesting. It says, sometimes I resent meeting you, but only because it's forcing me to grow. It's not personal. So, very interesting, because I remember in the beginning, I talked about how there was somebody here who is really glad they met you, crossed paths with you, are not the same person, and now somebody else does feel the resentment. But like the card says, it's not personal. It feels like it's a projection. So I feel like this is you, the one who has resentment. And it's very possible that that person that we talked about in the beginning is just an illusion, or somebody that you know actually feels that way about you. It's really important to connect with and understand and trust your intuition. And if you want to see things more clearly, what are you afraid of? And then ask yourself, what would you do if you weren't afraid? How would you look at things differently if you had more courage? Or if you were more accepting of the fear? Overall, this reading has very much been focused on your own power, finding purpose, and how you talk, and finding purpose in how you talk to and treat yourself. You deserve to have more power in your life, so you should claim it, own it, do something with it that actually aligns with who you are and what you deserve in so many different ways. The main guidance here appears to be to allow yourself to walk away, to let go, especially if you really do resonate with this feeling of resentment. Learn, grow, heal, and, become more spiritually aware with whatever this situation or this person was supposed to teach you about yourself, about life. I mean, we did talk about like existential, maybe identity crisis or just questioning life. And I feel like you might find a lot of answers with those existential questions, the existential anxiety, if you allow yourself to heal from whatever the situation or this person is.